Today we are going to focus on homeostasis. Before talking about homeostasis, I like to say some few words about the first year and the second year subjects. In first year, we are trying to define what is normal in a structural level, in a functional level, in a molecular level. Structural level, we are talking about anatomy. Anatomy, what is the structure of upper limb, lower limb, and what kind of connections do they have? What kind of nerves do they have? What kind of blood supply they have? In case of functional, we are talking about physiology, how each organ system function, like CVS, neuro. And in a molecular level, we are talking about biochemistry, how carbs, fats, proteins, vitamins work. And if there is some kind of defect, what will happen? In case of second year, we are talking about diseases. Infectious diseases, it is micro. Non-infectious, like how a disease comes in our body or how it leads to its clinical features, it is pathology. And in case of treatment, it is pharma. Now, my job is to do general physio, general path, general pharm, and general pedia. I include neonatology in this one. Once I complete this, we can just go on with the systems, CVS system, neurology system, everything. Okay, now let's talk about homeostasis. This term is first given by Walter B. Cannon. Now to remember this name, let's say there's a wrestler called as Walter in WWE. Okay, he's holding a cannon. So what is his job is fasting blood sugar should be in a range of 80 to 120. If the fasting blood sugar goes like 160, so it needs to come back to the normal range. And if the fasting blood sugar goes below from 70 to like 40 or 30, this is dangerous. So we need to take it back to, like I made a mistake here. We can keep 90. From 90 to 40 or 30, it is reducing. This is dangerous. We should not have this kind of glucose. So it takes it back to 100. This kind of maintenance, like normal maintenance, our human body is so complex. Okay, there are like lots and lots of systems going simultaneously in order to ensure our survival or for our long life. We have a set parameter, like normal parameter for heart rate, for glucose, for sodium, potassium, everything. Okay, in heart rate case, it is 60 to 100. And if we breach this normal levels, if we go too much higher, it is hyper. If we go too low, it is hypo, like hyperglycemia. If glucose is too much, it is hyperglycemia. If the temperature is too much, it is hyperthermia. If the potassium is too much, it is hyperkalemia. Okay. The same goes if it is too low, the values are too low, it is hypoglycemia, hypothermia, hypokalemia. Both are problem. We need normal level for good functioning. Okay. Now, homeostasis is maintained due to two reactions: feedback and feed forward. In feedback, there are like two kinds: positive and negative. This is the example for a feedback mechanism. So, in case if when the values get too high or too low, our body just brings it back to normal. When it reaches 160, it comes back to 110 or something. Okay. In this case, it reaches 40, it goes back to 100. So, when the value is too high, it needs to bring it back. When the value is too low, it needs to bring it back up. This is one of the most used and most effective. Most people think when the value goes high, negative feedback is supposed to just come bring it back down, not take it back up. So that's wrong. In case of feed forward, like for example, sorry, feed forward. In case of positive feedback, I will give you an example: clap, and I will explain it later. Okay. CLAP is coagulation cascade, LH surge, action potential, parturition reflex. In parturition reflex, we can also call this as Ferguson reflex. Now, in case of Ferguson reflex, I will explain using Ferguson reflex, I will explain positive feedback. Let's say the fetal head touches the cervix. Okay. So what happens is oxytocin flows and uterine contraction increases. So while contracting, it pushes the baby further down, pushes the baby further down. So what happens? Baby, even additional touching of the cervix happens. So it just keeps on going and going and going and going and going. But we know too much of a good thing is a bad thing. So when due to positive feedback, the value reaches its peak, and after peak, it's problem. So what will happen? Negative feedback comes and bring it back to normal. This is the cycle. Positive feedback happens. We will reach the peak of the value. Once it crosses the peak, it causes a problem. Then after the problem, it goes back to negative and negative feedback, and negative feedback pushes us to normal. In case of negative feedback, we need to find the efficacy, like how well the negative feedback works. It is given by gain. Gain, the formula is correction given by error left. Now, for example, in this case, the fasting blood glucose is 140. The correction happens, negative feedback interferes, and it brings it back to 130. Okay, it brings back to 130. In this case, only 10 correction, 10 quantity decreases. So according to formula, the correction is 10 and the error left is 30. You know why? The normal value is 80 to 120. But we won't take 120. We'll take the physiological set point in order to make, in order to check it properly. In physiology, set point, fasting blood sugar is 100. So the error left is 130 minus 100. It is 30. So it is 0.33. It is going in the reverse direction, so it is negative. Now the only thing left is feed forward. In case of feed forward, it is mostly brain. Brain is doing the anticipation. So it is called as the anticipatory phenomenon. Anticipatory phenomenon. In anticipatory phenomenon, let's see temperature. We use temperature as an example. Our skin has a temperature, and our inner core has a temperature. The skin temperature is called as the shell temperature, and the core temperature is called as the inner temperature is called as the core temperature. The core temperature should not go down, but the cell temperature can go down. In this case, if the shell temperature goes down, the brain anticipates the core temperature going down. Okay. Temperature going down, it starts from skin and it goes to core. Once the core temperature is down, it will cause so much problem. So our brain will try to increase the skin temperature. So it will come back to normal, the homeostasis state. Okay. And in this case, I forgot to mention you one thing. In case of kidney, the kidney functions well, does so well, so there is no any error left. The error left is 0. So it is getting infinity. This is an example. What is kidney doing here? The kidney is correcting blood pressure. When the kidney is correcting blood pressure, it does a good, really fantastic job. So there is no any error left. It corrects everything. So the gain is infinity. Yeah, that's it.